Hello, huge movie fanatics coming here to review Joe Johnston's Jurassic Park 3. This movie came out in 2001, and for my money it's kind of just a disaster. It's clearly there just to basically be there for me, and I think you like it, which is fine. But for me, it's clearly there to be there. The opening, when I saw it in the theater, it was like, the first couple seconds were great because it was like, I can't remember, it opens up on the island or whatever, and it's like, or no, the title Jurassic Park 3 comes up, and then it's like,
the slash.
But the sound was just fucking great, and then it goes, and it's the same thing that I like about the other two, or the first one, the tropical aspect, and then as soon as it's like dun 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 dun, and it's like, what's that thing that flashes on the screen? It's like warning or something, or keep out or something weird. I can't remember what, it's like a red word that flashes.
I don't remember
a
red word flashing. And
it was like, all of a sudden, that just made the movie lame to me. And I mean, it didn't ruin the whole movie, but it kind of was a foreshadowing of what was to come. What was the word?
Well, they say in the beginning that nobody's allowed within a proximity of like 5 miles.
But there's some red word or something that
I don't
flashes.
remember that.
Yeah, it's there. It's it's something like no trespass. It's not no trespassing. But anyway, to move on, the beginning is with the guy and that woman's son, right? Doing the
son.
I thought the whole opening was just, oh my god. It was just, it looked great, it sounded great, but I was in that first scene, I was rolling my eyes. It was like in the, you know, the whatever it's called, parachute, and the guy is connected to the kid. And what's so funny about some of those shots, the profile shots too, the kid's sitting right on his, it looks like he's mounted right on his stick, and I can't get around that. It looks exactly like that, and it's just like, you know, I'm not saying anything about it. It just looks stupid, and the whole notion of like, yeah, this is the tour of the island, and we're gonna parachute him up in video camera. And I hate that guy. And you hear it twice in the movie. Once in the initial scene, and I think once again when they play it back later on, this guy is just like, "Do you see anything?" Nah, not yet. It's just so stupid to me and so annoying.
It didn't bother me.
I don't know why I have this. It might have been that word that flashed on the screen right at the beginning that ruined the whole movie for me. But for me, the movie is absolute mostly just crap that's there to make money. The thing that's so pathetic about the movie is it was great. I was excited for Sam Neill to return because I liked Alan Grant. We didn't talk about it, or I didn't talk about Alan Grant much. I really liked him in the first movie at the time because he was like, as much as you like, what's his name? Malcolm?
Malcolm, yeah.
Alan Grant was more like my kind of personality. I remember identifying with him because that's how I'd be with someone like Grant in the helicopter. I'd be exactly like that. I'd just be like, just let this silent and let this asshole talk. I identified with Alan Grant when I saw the first movie, and he was much more my kind of character, even though I'm also like Ian Malcolm. I'm like both of them. I guess it depends on who I'm with. If I'm with an asshole, I'm like Alan Grant. If I'm with a non-asshole, I'm like Ian Malcolm, whatever. But I was excited for him to come back because I really missed him in The Lost World.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed with the fact that he and Ellie, you know, weren't together. But it's funny because in the beginning of Jurassic Park it makes sense because he doesn't want kids and she does. But the thing that they showed at the end of Jurassic Park was, oh, maybe kids are, you know, okay. So I think they meant to hint, but what's realistic, I guess, in a way, is just because Tim and Lex were fine doesn't mean I want my own kids. But that was, I remember being disappointed by that, and it's just like, you know, and it's just like, one thing, before I hand it off to you, one thing that, whoops, my flip-flop flopped. Before I hand it off to you, one of the most pathetic things in the whole goddamn movie is there's no way in heaven or on earth that you could get me on that island. And then William Macy comes, I could write all kinds of numbers on this check, doctor. Okay, I'll go. You know,
it's fun as Dick say, yeah.
Well, he just said there's nothing on heaven or on earth that could get me on that island. And what's so funny is he doesn't even wait until the check clears to go.
I did find that weird.
Wasn't that just stupid?
The plan wasn't that they were going to go on the island. That's why I was fine with it, because the plan was to never get onto the island.
Right.
They were just going to fly.
I don't know what
about.
The line was, if he said on the island or near. I don't know what the line was, but if he says on, whatever. But I still think it's a stretch. You know, it's just and his little young partner guy. Oh my God! The movie for me was so much there just to make money, and I could not believe it. It's got cool set piece. I like the plane crash thing, but the characters I just hate. I mean, I hate the characters. I mean, Alan Grant's pretty much the same, but it's just like I don't like the young kid. I don't like anyone in this bullshit that we're doing with William Macy and what's her name?
Taylor Leone.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you look good. Oh, I've been working out. It's like. Stupid.
I like the movie.
I don't know what it is. Something that it's just the movie just seems so just generic and just there for money's sake.
It absolutely is generic. It's a perfect example of a B summer movie, and it was an excellent B summer movie. It was just fun to watch. You just sit there and you watch dinosaurs attack people for 90 minutes, and you're done. And the fact that it's 90 minutes didn't bother me. It only needed to be 93 minutes. There was a lot of scenes that I really like, most of which involved the dinosaurs. I'm not terribly impressed with the Spinosaurus. That took a huge hit for me. I was just like,
give me a break.
Oh, so this is the Mighty Ducks 3 syndrome, where it's like, oh, there's something bigger and badder than what you've ever fought before. Here it is, to show you just how big and bad it is. That was really dumb, and I was not a fan of that. Like, sure, introduce a new big dinosaur, but don't, like, just completely write off this, especially when you've established that there's more than one Tyrannosaur on Isla Sorna. But whatever.
Let me hold that thought. Another thing that I thought was so stupid, they pumped this up in the trailer, in the movie, it's like, oh, the raptors can talk to each other. And it's like, if you look at Jurassic Park, in the first one, in the kitchen, he calls the other guy.
Yeah.
They're talking to each other in the first movie, so don't make a big deal about them talking to each other.
The idea was that they were their communication had progressed. They've gone more to, like, clucking sounds than just
the idea?
Yeah, certainly. So their speech patterns, these are animals that are evolving, and I thought that was kind of an interesting. The raptor stuff is
evolving in 5 years.
The raptor stuff is well, their environment is radically changed with the arrival of human beings and all this kind of stuff. Like it does make sense. Look at, like, the birds on the islands. Anyway, so the raptor stuff I thought was really, really particularly effective.
Which raptor stuff?
All the raptor.
Oh, you mean the raptor scenes?
Yeah, all the raptor stuff within the movie was particularly effective. I liked that they brought science back into it, albeit minimally, when they're going through the remnants of the Site B, like, mining factory where they made the dinosaurs and stuff like that, and he's like, no, this is how you play God. And Grant was just great, and I love Grant. Grant's one of my favorite characters. And I agree with you that he's, like, even though, like, Malcolm's the cool one, he's the one you sort of aspire to be, most of the audience is going to side with and be Alan Grant, the quiet guy who just observes. And I really liked him. I liked the stuff with Ellie Sattler, that they didn't necessarily need to make her a main focus of the story for her to have a huge presence within it. Like, I'm going to give the movie 3 stars. I think it's certainly better than the second one. It's still a far cry from the first one. But at the end of the day, it's entertaining, and I love all the stuff with the pterodactyls, or flying dinosaurs. I can't remember if they were pterodactyls or not. I think they had too much of a spiny head to be a pterodactyl. But I liked the flying dinosaurs that were in the movie. That stuff was great. The kid didn't bother me. I thought he was perfectly fine, and I loved William Macy. Macy's awesome in anything he's in.
Man.
And I liked that they had 2 people who were very human, who were on this island that actually quite needed Alan to coach them around. The T-Rex thing really bothered me.
What T-Rex thing?
Where they wrote him out.
wrote him out. What are you talking about?
He's not in the movie except for the one fight scene. Like, they just basically introduced the Spinosaurus to say that he's worse than the one
They
before.
show the T-Rex so he can be killed by the Spinosaurus.
Yeah, they wrote him out, essentially. Like, that was just pointless pandering. But still, it's a fun B-movie. I enjoyed it, and that's all that you're meant to really do. It's, as I say, far cry from the first one, but certainly better than the second one. So there you go.
2 stars for me.
Jurassic Park gets the 3.
2, I said. Thanks for watching. Rawr. So what? They're coming out with a new one.
It got put on the back burner, so it's not happening.
Why is that?
I don't know. They probably just due to money disputes. That seems to be all it ever ends up being. But it was going to take place in Isla Sorna. No, not Isla Sorna. Isla Nublar from the first movie, because the second 2 take place on Isla Sorna. So they're going back to the first one, and my guess is that if the story element that they would probably try and follow would be to examine extinction, probably because either the humans or the dinosaurs are getting sick and dying, and so you need to send people in to figure out what's going on, and maybe these dinosaurs hold a cure to our inevitable extinction or something like that.
Oh shit.
Which is what the Lost World book was about.
Oh, okay.
And that something that I think is still very interesting and could be explored. Presumably that's what the new movie would be. I don't know. So, hopefully it doesn't have raptor marines, which was in an earlier draft for the government had gotten hold of the raptor DNA and crossbreeding them with human beings to create raptor marines.
Wow, was that for 3 or 4?
That was for 4.
Oh man,
And it never got produced.
You can forget about that.
Yeah.
Raptor Marine, Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it'd be. Raptor Marine and then Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded terrible. So I like the idea of extinction. I think that'd be cool.
Extinction sounds good.
Be an interesting story. I don't know really where you could go with it. Like, number 2 was a stretch for me. Number 3 was also a stretch for me. But they both found plausible reasons, I guess, if you're gonna go back onto the island, to go back onto the island. But let's see something new. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Well, to me, if they're not making 4, it's just as well. I mean, I think it's...
if they're not making 4, they're gonna reboot number 1. Like, that's it'll be either they'll make 4 or they'll reboot it because it's a viable franchise. As the re-release in 3D pointed out.
Or they'll just re-release it again in 3D. 4D.
Yes.
3.5D.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We got the lawnmower starting. Have a good day.